Welcome into the Film Guy Network. It's football season, which means I've got a film study for you. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome in to the Film Guy Network on a fabulous Sunday afternoon. Got a lot to watch today. Obviously, as you can tell by the title of today's video, we got to figure out what the hell went on third down yesterday. It was historic. I think worst third down performance in 30 years, 35 some odd years at the University of Georgia. So 13 of 19, we're going to watch 16 of them. And I'm not going to lie to you, most of the answer is, holy hell, was Ty Simpson dialed? Okay, so we're going to pay attention to that, most importantly, and whatever takeaways after that come away with it. But defensively, this game was lost on third down. I think overall, this game was lost on third down. There's a lot of discussion about play calling offensively. We'll take a look at that tomorrow. And there's worthy criticisms. Do not get me wrong. I don't mean to placate that or look at that or look another way at that. But defensively, this game was lost on third down. That's what we're here to take a look at today. And again, prefacing it with, I think we're going to leave with just thinking, damn, Ty Simpson sure as hell was good. All right, got a couple of rules around here. If you learn anything about the game of football, you must subscribe. If you learn anything about your favorite football team, you must subscribe. If you have any fun at all today, you must subscribe. Let's shut up and let's grind the tape. Looking good. All righty, here we go. We're going to start play two. And here's the thing, man. You disguised really, really well, I thought as well. At least pre-snap here. We'll get a look at it post or in the tight cut, and you'll see you kind of gave it away just a tad bit. Put us in two so they can see this. All right, Tyson. Oh, whoa. You forgot to rotate too, my boy. Oh, we slipping. We're slipping, Austin. Hey, Austin's feeling down bad today. Hold on. We got a cable in the middle of camera two. Look at us, man. Look at us. Hey, it's okay. It's okay. Pick that fat lip up off the ground. We'll be all right. That's what I'm saying. Don't get beat twice. All right, hey, look at this. You're actually doing a relatively decent job of disguising, right? Safety over here in the middle of the field. You're actually going to rotate into cover three, and you're going to fire this nickel over here, okay? He's actually the safety, but it's Kyron Jones. He's lined up as a nickel. We'll call him such, okay? But here's what was, really, really impressive about Ty Simpson last night. His pre-snap identification and then post-snap re-identification, right? Because if they're going to change the picture on you between pre-snap and post-snap, our eyes better be right and make us right as the defense changes the look on us. And this is exactly what happens to Georgia right here. Second play of the football game on 2nd and 8. Now, this ball is thrown incomplete, but this is what we're going to call a Sunday throw. There's a lot of these on the tape today, guys, so just lock in. I thought this dude was as dialed as humanly possibly could be at the quarterback position Saturday night. Okay, and here's what I mean by catching it on the tight. You actually showed it pre-snap right there, right? And then you're rotating to a single high right there. Do y'all see that? And then the nickel actually fires. I don't know if you can see him in the right corner of your screen. Do you see the nickel creeping around over there, Austin? All right, so you're showing it right now, and the offensive coordinator on the other side of the ball there he goes. You see, so we're showing that nickel pressure and that safety rotating to cover three. He's looking at the sideline right now, getting the cover three beater. Do we all see that chess match going on right now? Normally, this is something you can't typically do on the road, but here they go. They're going to get on the line of scrimmage, change the protection, change everything right here. Second play of the football game, get everything cleaned up. Nice, clean protection. All right, look at number 80. Slides out. He's protected, or he's prepared now for that nickel pressure. All right, and they get this ball ripped. That ball should be caught, honestly, and that is a dime. I about said delightful ball, but that sounds really weird. You know what's got me messed up nowadays, Austin? Kirby cutting up all the sound bites of me saying suspicious things, and I think it's gotten in my head just a little bit. Can't let it get to me. All right, first third down of the day. All right, we're going to watch 16 of these throughout the film study today. Here's the first one. All right, I think you actually do a really good job. I think you play man-to-man right here and get home relatively quickly. He realizes no spy, man-to-man coverage, takes off running. converts the first third down with his legs, actually. I thought a lot was overblown, Austin, about we're not getting home, we don't get enough pressure. I thought you guys actually rushed him off his spot when you tried to, like this right here. At some point, it just became we can't really play man-to-man, and most teams won't against this Alabama defense, or offense, rather. And this was the ultimate game plan, to get somebody to cross 74's face and then wrap somebody around him. Same thing, vice versa over here, trying to create shorter edges. Just didn't quite get home very often, obviously, as you had one sack in the football game. I thought this was pretty cool. A little football innovation here on the channel today. Everybody run a read option, right? Everybody run a read option. Most teams have this guy either be an attack player, right? An attack player, a pursuit player, or a surf player, right? Play with his shoulders squared to the line of scrimmage, or turn and run down the line of scrimmage, right? We all have seen that in college football and in pro football before. How about if we allow this player, right? If we allow 33 to be a pursuit player, while also providing a surf player. Check this out. He becomes a pursuit player, and Gabe Harris stunts outward right here and becomes a surf player for the quarterback. How about that? I've been watching read option defense for a long, long time. I don't know if this is brand new, but this looks relatively new to me. I haven't seen this one in a minute. And 33 ultimately runs it down. They were as anemic in the run game as I thought they would be. But, you know, you're as good in the run game as I think you are. That's not the problem defensively. We know what it is. This was crazy to me. So you got single high right here, right, Austin? As the ball is snapped, I believe you're going to rotate into two high. He's going to come play over on this side of the ball, and then KJ is going to replace over there in the flat, if my memory serves me correct, down set. Hut. Yes, that's exactly what happens, okay? So now he's got this half-field safety. He's a half-field safety over here. But pre-snap, Austin, this safety was standing right here, and they've got a seam and a dig right here. Normally, that seam is just to clear out space for that dig, right? But if I turn my head around, he's doing all this play action, by the way. His head just snapped around. He identifies the safeties have now split. Now he knows what used to be an I love football route just became an opportunity for a touchdown right here. It's the quarterback playing the position. Now, hey, let's have a conversation with you over here, my guy. When we come to balance over here, right? When we get to our half-field read and we come to balance, right? We get to is the screen blurry or is the camera not focused? I think the screen's blurry. I'm just being ADD. All right. Y'all can still see clearly, right? Let's get out of that. That's much better. All right. Glad I noticed that. All right, anyways, when we get back to balance over here, we got to understand where our threats are coming from. That's number 2. That's a tight end number 81. We probably should get square, keep in our pedal, and know that number 2 is probably the more likely threat here. We're a little late to recognize that. Do we see that? Nonetheless, I think it's better quarterback play than it is bad defense, because you did everything you're supposed to right there as a defense. You changed the picture on him. You gave him one thing as the ball is snapped. He goes into play action right here, and now everything's changing on him post-snap. He realizes, oh, crap, we got a touchdown. Ball dropped. We got to get pressure, right, Austin? That's the ultimate, criticism from last night. I feel like defensively, got to cover better and got to get pressure. Agree or disagree?
That's the criticism.
All right, especially on third downs like this one right here. I mean, first of all, you got home, all right? You hit the dude. He's 3-step, 1 hitch, like he's supposed to be. Ball is out. I mean, it's midway to him right now, and we're just getting our head around. I'm just saying, you're not getting home when nobody is. When the kid's getting rid of the football this way, you are not getting home. All right? And here's the other problem. You're in soft coverage right here because that's Isaiah Horton. And if he's not the number 1 wide receiver on that offense, okay, he probably is a top 30 wide receiver in the sport, maybe. Like, he's that good. Okay, so we can't just like man-to-man against everybody because they got too many guys out there. And yeah, you give up a completion right there on 3rd and 10. But look at the cue. Look at how well he's playing right now. 3 steps, 1 hitch, ball out. He gets licked. Dot. But here's the other reality, right? You had certain opportunities defensively to create some lack of confidence in this football player, like this right here, okay? He makes a bad decision early. He makes a I'm trying to be too confident decision early in this football game, and you do not make him pay for it. Play action. Aguero's doing a great job getting pressure in his face. All right, KJ, great job identifying where the route is. Got to make that play. Got to make that play. And he knows it. I'm not saying it's a totally different football game, but it's probably a different football game if that crowd pops right there. All right? And you stop their first drive that ultimately walks down and scores here in just a second. We can coach this one up later. Bring your feet. Bring your feet, 52. Hey, right there, we ain't trying to make a big hit right there, man. Bring your feet. We did the fancy stuff by shedding the block. Now bring your feet. All right, 3rd and 5. All right. This is an absolute Sunday throw. We've got a version of cover 2 over here. Dalen is what we call trapping the flat right now, okay? So we got an inside defender, an outside defender, and when this guy button hooks right here or works his way to the flat, we are trying to jump that route on 3rd and 7, okay? We got safety help over the top. Now, the only way to beat this, okay, is to notice, first of all, what this guy is trying to take away, and then be willing and have the huevos to rip this football. Okay, watch this. 3-step, 1 hitch, ball out, bang. Against, I would say 90% of college quarterbacks, that's tremendous defense. All right, that's tremendous defense. We're trapping the most easiest threat for the young quarterback. We're forcing the most toughest throw right here on 3rd and 5, and he rips. Bang. All right, I don't criticize Glenn Schumann very often. I just have a question. Okay, first of all, this is Jeremy Bernard. All right, everybody see that? That's the wide receiver who hides himself as a running back sometimes. But when he's back there and when he motions out right here, all right, he's probably either getting the football or they're throwing the football. They're definitely not running. All right, so here's my question: Why do we not have an auto check out of this pressure from the field right here? All right, we had this called, they motion to empty, and we send the 6-man pressure, and that's not the problem. The problem is we're outmanned over here in the screen game. They have 3, and now we have 3, and they have a ball carrier, which means not only do we have to make an open field tackle, but in order to earn the open field tackle, we got to beat a block, all right? And neither happen right here. Again, I don't like criticizing one of what I think is the best defensive coordinators in the country, but hey, I think we should have a meeting on Monday that says if they get into trips, which they've shown on tape, if they get into trips and Jeremy Bernard is in the backfield and we have any type of like pressure call, it has to be auto aborted. Like we have to get out of it, all right? It's too easy. Now, Jonell almost does exactly what I say. We have to defy block and make an open field tackle, but instead, 2nd and 12 becomes 1st and 10. All right. So this was another weird thing I saw on this touchdown. This is Jeremy Bernard on the slant to score for the first opening drive touchdown. And yeah, we could see. I could sit here and try to coach up Ellis Robinson. He'll get plenty of that coaching. Here's my concern. They flare the back right here, which I believe to be Raylan Wilson's responsibility, and there's nobody out there either. All right, we have 2 opportunities for a touchdown. Yeah, our guy got beat right there. I'm okay with one-on-one. We lose matchups every once in a while. I'm okay with that. But why do we have the back against Alabama yet again? Why is the back flaring into the backfield and Raylan Wilson's eyes are trapped on the line, on the quarterback? I don't love that. I mean, I can sit here and try to coach up Ellis, but again, they're going to figure that out. I don't know where Y'all are in man. I don't know if you're in man-to-man. Are you in man-to-man coverage? There's no point in sitting here dissecting it. I think you're in man-to-man coverage. Yes, you are. All right, so that means that front side inside linebacker definitely has the back. All right, rep 18 right here. All right, we're gonna talk about some things, but let's talk about the actual football play first. I think it's a very decent rush. I think it's a good rush. All right, I think it's great coverage here on 3rd and 9, or 3rd and 8, but I think it's just better quarterback play. Okay, not only are you going to rush him off his spot right now, you're going to push him up, but you are blanketed right now. Not only have you passed off this shallow to Raylan, but Dalen is going to turn back around and become a free hole player right here. Watch Raylan. Okay, or Dalen, excuse me. Dalen's going to find the concept, turn back around, and try to get into the mix. And look at the coverage. You're relatively blanketed there with KJ. You're relatively blanketed here with CJ. You're definitely covered on that backside right there. Like, dude, you're playing great defense. He's just about to rip a seed into a tight window. I think he even steps through Chris Cole's rush right here. Steps right through and rips an absolute dot. Now, my question, why aren't these two flip-flopped? And here's why I ask, because I just want to know. Like, because I thought this dude was food for him. That's Chris Cole. I mean, people are going to clap or clip me from last week saying he was going to feed families against Caden Proctor. He didn't get the matchup. We're not going to see it. I mean, we're 18 plays in, several 3rd down drives in, and we're not going to see that matchup. And there he is getting home on Formsby. The only reason I question it is because I question my own scouting eval. That tells me the defensive staff thought differently. You know what I'm saying? So if Glenn Schumann thinks the other guy is more attackable, then I evaled it wrong, period. I just assume I'm wrong. Now, I have a new theory. Who you are on 2nd down, 2nd and long, 2nd and we done messed up on 1st down, who you are in those situations is what I'm going to pay you your worth as a coordinator. You know what I mean? What you're able to do when we done messed up is how I'm going to evaluate your worth. All right. For example, right here on 2nd and 15, they can't run the ball to save their life. They get a pre-snap penalty finally. Okay. And here we go. 2nd and 15, first screen call of the game. And it's about to rip for 20 yards. It's about to rip for 13 yards to at least get him in a 3rd and 7, though. You know what I mean? Who you are on these inefficient downs, these get-back plays, as we call them on the channel, right? We're trying to get the yardage back. We're trying to get back into a serviceable situation on 3rd down. They're almost just as important as what we do on 3rd down, right? I always love watching Parker Brailsford out in the open field. He's a really good athlete, man. All right, here's the other thing. Here's the other reason why you really can't play man-to-man coverage against this DeBoer and Grubb offense when they're really humming, because they stack and they bunch and they motion to release and they stack their releases post-snap really, really well as well. So you can't really get in their face, bump and run, play a bunch of pressure. All right, what you have to do is play a lot of zone coverage. Okay, here we go. They're going to stack all 3 wide receivers basically as the ball is snapped, and they're going to crisscross them again. Okay, now we got Ryan Williams button hooking it out this way, Jeremy button hooking out in this way, and they got the corner spray right here as well. Okay, so someone in this progression is going to get open, and it is happening right now. And here's what's impressive. That ball's already out, guys. That ball's already out. He is seeing the field exceptionally well right now. Now, how would I coach this up defensively? Well, I'm not a DC, but I'll tell you this much. When we're running from 12 yards from depth here on 3rd and 7 against this kid so far in the football game, we're probably not getting home. So I would rather you sag off where his eyes are a lot quicker. It takes Jonel Aguero a good 6, 7, 8 steps and about 9 yards, right, to actually recognize, oh crap, he's throwing to his left. I better get into the window. And then I kind of float into the window, but don't really get into the window. Now imagine had we just, broken this way, maybe we actually impact the play. I know what we dang sure can do. All right, what we dang sure can do is actually impact Jeremy right here and allow Chris Cole to ride this thing out just a little bit longer, right? Just ride this thing out just a little bit longer while you replace here. Again, not a DC, don't know. But most of the time when teams run Tampa 2, which what that looks like to me, they don't just bomb the safety from 12 yards of depth. They kind of have him squat as a hole player until he's threatened vertically. Am I right or am I wrong about cover 2 Tampa? All right. Just making sure. Not that you're the football savant sitting over there, but I'm just making sure I'm not losing my mind. Another third down here. All right. Talk about just a football player, man. We're going to talk a lot about good football players this year on this channel, okay? Because I think the teams who have the most football playing dudes, right? The guys who just understand how to play ball, they're probably going to win, okay? Because the days of talent, having a massive talent advantage, they are gone. Jeremy Bernard's a football player, okay? Watch him press this block. He's already, or is this Jam Miller? This is Jeremy, okay? Watch him press this block inside, make Jonell jump inside, and now we've got the outside sealed. Again, watch him press, bounce. Press, bounce. And he does it almost in one stride, if you will. Guys, that's a 6'3", 205-pound athlete. It's a really, really good football player, is Jeremy Bernard. By the way, I thought this guy, and look, he's one of my favorite players to study. I've already talked about it. I thought this guy got away with snap infractions all night. All night. And I'm not complaining because it's gamesmanship, brother. It's like figuring out as a catcher, oh my God, he's giving me an inch outside, so you take 2. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. Like, dude, they're letting you go, so just keep stepping and then snapping instead of snapping and stepping. All right? And it happened all night long. Watch that right foot. I think that one was pretty well timed up, actually. Some of these short yardage situations, man, he was getting away with it, and I love it because I would have done the same stuff. I was a move the ball guy. You get in your stance, kind of move it up half a yard. Just dare the line judge to tell you no. Hey, stop doing that, 56. Yes, sir. My bad. Oh, my bad. We got to go back to the wide here. This is an NFL ball, as most of these have been all day. Okay, they're playing too high is Georgia. Okay, playing too high right here, right? I think the concept here for Alabama is this inward breaking route here from, I think that's 17. We got a deep over, and I think they're going to run a corner here. So really trying to attack the spaces that are available in this too high defense. That's also really good coordinating from Ryan Grubb and DeBoer. All right. If we're going to hit this window, what are we going to have to do? We're going to have to throw it over these defenders and under this defender. Watch this from Ty Simpson. Boom. All right, you'll really, really see it from the tight right here. I don't know how much better you can play it defensively unless you just have bigger, longer, wider, faster football players. Maybe Kyron Jones needs to drive down harder on this route a little bit quicker, right? We see this inward breaking route now. We no longer have threats out here vertically, nor over here. We have to drive down now on what is available. But I mean, hell, Raylan does everything he's supposed to right now. He's getting pressed vertically this way. So he's got to open his hips and sprint to run as if they're trying to hit that now. And then watch him flip his hips, come to balance, realize where the ball's going, and now drive to impact the ball. Bang. And people will say, well, maybe Justin Williams needs to read eyes better. Yeah, but what happens if they check the ball down? Like, there's just no defense for a perfect ball. Is that what they always say? I don't know if there's any defense for a perfect ball. Hey, we'll take a quick minute to give a shout out to our friends over at Sleeper. What a great time to be here on this network this year, but also a great time to be with our friends over at Sleeper. Go over to Sleeper today, the #1 place for daily fantasy and prop plays. Sleeper Picks is a real money product that connects friends over picks. Choose 2 to 8 of your favorite players from pregame, live, or even across different sports. Pick more than or less than the predicted stats. It's that simple. On Sleeper, you can get up to 100x payouts. Share with your friends and get rewarded today. Use promo code Brooks, as you see on the screen, on Sleeper and get 100% deposit match up to $100. Again, that's sleeper.com/promo/Brooks. Terms and conditions apply. Boys, as you know, we're about 28 minutes at the time of this ad read from the kickoff of NFL Sunday. So go ahead, run over to Sleeper right now. I'll give you permission to leave the stream actively. Go over to Sleeper, get a play in right quick, and get paid. We appreciate those folks over there at Sleeper. Again, that's promo code Brooks over there on Sleeper. This wasn't on my bingo card. I didn't expect Georgia to give up third downs on same side duo. Okay, this is what Georgia does. I just didn't think, and this may be a theme this year. I don't know. Maybe we need to stop assuming that Georgia's just going to be great at things that they've always been great at. Now, I understand why all of this flow happens. If you watch these three football players, they take themselves out of the play. It's because they're in man-to-man coverage, so let's not be too critical there. All right, but I just didn't expect, that play not to be made. Giving up 7 yards in the red zone. This play right here is when I thought, they might score 40 today, Austin. Okay, so this is waggle. Everybody's been running waggle for 100 years in football. Basically, this might have been the first forward pass ever invented. Out of the wishbone, we were just running dudes to the right, and they were like, hey, just throw it to his face. It's waggle. It's an centuries-old play. We've only been playing football for 130 years, but this play's 300 years old. All right, anyways, so they're running waggle, but I want y'all to watch, especially from the tight, what this wide receiver in Isaiah Horton does and what Ty Simpson does. I think this is coached. I think this is a brand new kind of wrinkle to waggle, if you will, right? Most waggle sprint out. If it doesn't open up, what do? Sprint to the pylon, right? The quarterback's legs become the third option. Not in this one. They're going to sprint him to his right, all right? And as he begins to gear down, the wide receiver back here is going to gear down. And actually, the more and more I watched it last night or this morning, the more I thought Horton's the first one to gear down. I think he's slowing down right now. Y'all tell me, chat. I think that guy stops first. And here's how I watched it. Okay, I identified him first and said, when's he start to gear down? He's gearing down right now, isn't he? We're still rolling, aren't we? I think Isaiah, I think this is coached. I think they're doing this because we know how heavy defense flows. I don't know. I've never seen the wide receiver ad-lib before the quarterback unless the wide receiver is coached to do so. You see what I'm saying? I wrote it down in my little magical gifted playbook. It's in there. We're gonna put it in the rec league bag. Ain't no doubt. Ooh, man, he gutted y'all twice with these. The third one, y'all stuck him, but ooh, this is unfortunate, all right? And look, you got to figure out how to stop it or what the change is because you're going to get it again. Whatever y'all do that forces and triggers Raylan Wilson to run to this mid-hole player when you're in split safety defense, do y'all see this? The safeties are split. Raylan's going to get triggered by vertical release to run down the middle of the field. All right, y'all are trying to rush your other linebacker, and now there's nobody left in the mid-20s. Okay, you know who's going to do this in a very different fashion, but is going to hit you with it last year? Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin's going to do something like this to force this, all right? He understands what's triggering your defense, all right, and forcing things, okay? It's also unfortunate that Joseph Jonah-Jonye, though a great run defender, is left out there in the flat to make a play by himself. But Jesus, make a tackle, guys. We've got to get him on the ground. Great individual effort from the back. I thought 28 was really, really good for them, especially in the pass. Perry, is that his last name? Hit me a Google right quick. Austin, number 28 for Alabama. Oh, make a tackle one. I can't tell you why DeMello Jones came in for Ellis Robinson, but that, might be it.
28.
Mm-hmm. Kevin Riley, not Perry. Football brain doing things to me. All right, another third down right here. 3rd and 4. Oh, no, it's 3rd and 8. I read the sticks backwards. Look at that football brain. 3rd and 8 right here. 9th one of the football game. Alabama is currently 8 for 8 on 3rd down. All right, I love this thought process from him as a quarterback, okay? We got an outside linebacker, and Gabe Harris walked out there over number 17. We know he's not in bump and run, right? We know he's not in man-to-man coverage. But what we do know is they're bracketing him, right? He is going to put hands on that number 2 receiver, force his release inside, and deliver him to the safety. Well, number 17 versus number 20 on their scouting report was huntable for them. So guess where his eyes are? His eyes are right there on Ja'Cory Thomas. I think Ja'Cory Thomas does a great job right here of just putting himself in front of the wide receiver and making the wide receiver run through him, right? That's not PI in my opinion. That is the offensive wide receiver not avoiding the DB. Now, at this point, let go, please. Let go or else we're going to get called for holding. That being said, that's what's telling you, or that's why the quarterback is working over there to start the snap. That was the progression. That was the original progression. Now, he doesn't click over to his right because he feels immediate pressure on the edges, even though Isaiah Horton's open all day long. So one little defensive win right there, not little, a big win right there also. Good Lord, man. This is the problem of playing defense at home. It is loud, right? And now you got guys out here getting late comms, and we're late to rush now. Like real late to rush. We're discombobulated as a rush. We're falling down as a rush. You see what I mean with regards to the defensive game plan? They didn't really attack him. They just tried to get his eyes in the wrong spot. I'm sure he'd love to see that matchup, man. No offense to Kristen, but if I'm Caden and I watched myself on tape in the first 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I'm like, damn, please don't put a rabbit in front of me. Yeah, I'll take a bull. Don't give me a rabbit. All right, first failed third down of the day, and it's a one-on-one win for Ellis Robinson in the red zone. Fade balls are hard. Okay, they're hard for offenses and defenses. Okay, actually, like real high probability play. Do you know why? It's a relatively safe play in terms of turnover margins, historically with the data.
The corner almost always has a back turn.
Correct. Incredible play design here on their other 3rd and 2. They didn't have very many of these short yardages. I think the Detroit Lions ran a very similar play to this the other day, except they ran option out of it. Okay, they ran the wide receiver or the fullback this way, gave him the ball, and then ran speed option this way as the back or the wide or the quarterback flooded out the other way. This just requires Jeremy to throw the football. That's a OC win right there. It's a damn good play call. I guess we'll watch it from the tight. Where are we at time-wise, Austin?
31.
I was about to say, I feel like we're moving pretty quickly here today. This is an incredible play design right here. Got the cameraman, too. Didn't need 40, just needed 2. Now, I just don't... And the quarterback's got 9 days back there. Here's what I wanted to say, Austin. It's 1st and 10. Okay, it's not 3rd and 9. So this is a good job by the OC playing a little bit differently, right? Instead of being run, pass, run, whatever. 1st down, getting into a traditional rundown and getting into a good 5-step drop right here, a 3-step drop, heavy pocket, deep concepts, all right, and letting the quarterback sit back there and try to make plays. So I say that because I'm trying to defend what I'm about to show you on the edge rushing standpoint. There's no plan. I don't think there's a plan right now because how could there be? Again, it's 1st and 10. We're still looking at the sideline trying to get a call because they're late to give us a call too. All right, they're moving around late at the end of the snap. We're trying to get the best call possible, and we just don't get home at all right here. And I never know, Austin, like, are they coached right now? Are they keyed up to level rush? Are they allowed to rush past the spot? Like, is he allowed to win with speed? Probably not, because we've been gutted already with a quarterback run. You see what I'm saying? Like, I never know how these kids are coached, so I never really know how to criticize them. I can just show you what's happening. That, to me, over the years I've been doing this, that to me looks like a level rush, what we call a mush rush, right? We're just trying to push the pocket. We're not trying to, get home necessarily. If we do, we want to put somebody in his lap. But if he wants to do this, 9 times out of 10, this is a very risky play for the quarterback. But number 2 is doing a good job of scramble drill, which I think he's great at. Let's go back and watch him during this play. I think he's actually working more towards the middle of the field here and then cuts it sharp back down towards his quarterback, if my memory serves me correct. Yeah, he does. Look at that. Good job sitting down as well in that zone. Notes just say, holy hell, make a tackle. I think it's just like 6 of you that miss one. Oh, Gabe Harris. Oh. We got some latency with the HDMI cord right now, Austin. He's really, really good at this. All these little screen, touch passes right here. These all seem very, very catchable for his wide receivers. Make a tackle. Make a tackle. Still in the first, no, yeah, we're still in the first half, dog. That's crazy. They took 43 snaps in the first half. More than that. They're taking more. This was the, hey, I can't wait to watch that fat-headed MFer break this play down, talking about my tackle being overweight. Watch me throw him the ball and give him a damn near a touchdown. Watch that big-headed, glasses-wearing idiot break down my tackle out here about to score a tud on his defense, because everybody thinks I'm a homer. All right, watch this. Yeah, this is the shut up, fat boy. Look at this. Talk about my weight. Why don't you worry about yours? I bet you ain't never got a reception. You're right. I don't have a career reception in college, unfortunately. They ain't let me get in my bag like they let Caden get in his, you know. I heard some people complaining about illegal man downfield stuff, some illegal numbers, something like that. I mean, he looked real nimble doing it, huh? Yeah, I thought he was going to score 2. They score on the next play, though, so don't you worry about that.
I remember.
My bad, dog. This kid was dialed on 3rd down. Absolutely just unconscious, okay? You take away his primary read. I can't tell you how many young quarterbacks, when you take away their primary read, they're absolutely fried. They got no chance. Watch how quickly this SOB gets from his primary read to his secondary read. His secondary read is going to be his other tight end buttoning over to his left, okay? This kid was absolutely dialed. Boom, primary read already cooked. We see the hook defender, we're dead. We're coming right back over here to 81 immediately. And when we get there, we're going to be ready to rip. Now, here's my one coaching point. Kyron, hey, every play we just need to assume we're beat. Okay? Right now, we are not assuming we're beat. We need to. It's 3rd and 4. This kid's been playing stupid fast today. So the moment we see space, we need to close it right now and eliminate it. I think Kyron doesn't realize until about right now, oh crap, the ball's coming to the guy that's in my area. Buddy, it's 3rd and 4. If he comes into your area within the first 2.5 seconds of the snap, you better take care of him and assume the ball's coming right now. A little late to trigger right there, and I think it cost us. Pass rush sucks, though. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. You know what I mean? You're not, again, bro, y'all can talk about defensive edge coaches or whatever. Y'all can talk about we need to go out in the portal. Yeah, maybe you need to get somebody who can get home in less than 2 seconds.
Not many of those. Yeah,
that's the point. Okay. I don't think that's the primary takeaway in this football game. I think the primary takeaway in this football game should be, holy hell, they only scored 24 points, you know? Like when I watched it, it was like, damn, y'all held that quarterback to 70 yards in the second half. Shit. You know what I mean? Like that's what I take away defensively, because the kid was absolutely lights out. Now, this was the point of the study where I feel like I should tell you that I thought number 3 had a career football game. Honest to God, I thought this was the best he's played since I have studied him, okay? Doesn't get bitten right here on this double move. They're trying to attack him and his eye discipline right here. He doesn't bot for it, all right? He doesn't take it, you know what I mean? And then the very next play I want to show you is play 59 right here. C.J. Allen out here sticking folks on short yardage on 3rd and 1. What bang? That's him, by the way. And this was one of those, I think, unless I'm losing my mind earlier, I thought this was a snap infraction. No, I'm losing my mind. His knee goes outward first. Do you see that, Austin? See how his right knee moves first? I'm getting nerdy about center play at this point. You guys don't care about that stuff. Right there, CJ. Hell yeah. And great stick from Jacory, I think that is. Great job on short yardage. Great job on 4th down the very next snap. It's a very discombobulated play. Run stunts nowadays are a little bit bonkers. We talk about this on this channel all the time. Where is Kristen Miller? Is that Kristen? I think Kristen ends all the way up in D gap over here, essentially, because they're going tackle over. You see that? Caden's over here, left guard, tight end. All right, they're going tackle over, trying to run the quarterback on a little lead option, if you will. And it gets blown up by the run stunt, really. And 0 crashing the front side edge really, really hard. Great job by Gabe. And pursuit, obviously, by 33.
Big game for the 33.
Yeah. I will say this. I didn't think I am never one to allow referee complaining, especially don't bitch about holding. As a former offensive lineman myself, I don't talk very much about my own career. I got one hold in my entire career. I thought it was bullshit. I tackled the guy, though. I'm not going to lie. This is a hold. It's 100% a hold. Probably should be half the distance to the goal. You definitely prevented a sack because of it. Maybe even a safety because you held the guy. But this right here on C.J. Allen is 100% a hold. That's the definition of one. But, you know, ifs, ands, buts, candies, and nuts. Here's what I loved about this football game, okay? And what I really, really appreciated. What I really, really appreciate about this football game. The refs were consistent one way or the other. We're either going to call it or we're going to swallow our whistle. And here's a primary example. He swallowed his whistle right there. We all agree. Referee did not throw that flag, let the play out, swallowed his whistle. Here's the very next snap. I think you're here early, to be honest with you, Ellis. I think you get here early. I think you make contact early, or maybe it's actually Jonell on this sail route right here, if my memory serves me correct. No. Hold on. Oh, it's play 63. It's 2 plays later. All right, but this is the incomplete pass by C.J. Allen. This kid had a career game. Watch how much ground he covers and how violently he does so. Ball out. All right, here's what I'm talking about with the referee swallowing his whistle. I think y'all got here a little early right here. You be the ref. Austin, it is a sail route. And he's calling that at the line of scrimmage. He realizes man-to-man coverage. And I think he just did this, which is a version of smash, right? Smash concepts nowadays, okay, it used to be hitch and corner, all right? But sometimes you can turn that thing into almost like a sail or a straight bend out and we'll throw you flat, which is, I think, exactly what happens right here.
Yeah, I had a good view of this play.
That's PI.
It had me holding my breath.
I think it's PI.
I thought the flag was coming.
That's what I'm saying. So you got away with a hold, did Alabama the play before, but you get away with a PI. I appreciate that about the ref, you know? Like, I don't give zebras credit very often, but we don't do bitching about it. We just say, hey, they chose to swallow the whistle. That was 3rd down excellence by the quarterback. I don't know anybody playing that much on time with those types of weapons in college football right now. Honest to God, don't know how you got out of there with 24 points is the way I felt like at the end of it. I don't know how you held that offense to that. other than they can't run the ball. They have no ability to run the ball. But how does it matter if they can't run the ball if it's 3rd and 9 and the kid's freaking dialed? Not in that game, it didn't. So hey, hell yeah, Ty Simpson. Great football game. Love you. Bye. See you.